everyone, today we are going to be talking about aftercare. Aftercare is basically what the guest does to make sure that their lashes last. Extensions are supposed to last at least 4 to 6 weeks. If the guest is not properly taking care of their extensions, the extensions can last 1 to 2 weeks. Not only is it all up to your guest, we have already talked about this multiple times. It is your job to make sure that your environment or your workspace is suitable for lashing. You always have to make sure that the temperature and humidity are set correct so that you are able to lash and the extensions have a very good retention. Usually when I am completely done lashing, this is where I take my time and explain to the guest what they should do. I really don't like to tell them at the beginning because sometimes they're nervous and sometimes they're just like out of it, or they're tired, they're laying on a chair, and this is the moment where they just want to relax. Sometimes if their eyes are closed, they're really not putting their full attention on you, which is why you want to make sure that their eyes are open and that you are fully communicating with your guest. Once you have applied the activator on the lashes, this is the time where you are able to talk to your guests and let them know the following steps. Our salon provides a small sheet that the guest can take home. It is very important for them to be able to read it. That way, you know, they're just constantly thinking, I can't do this, I can't do that. There's something about reading that just helps your brain. Everything just kind of soaks in and you remember more often rather than somebody just telling you what not to do. So that is always good for you to provide something that they can visually see and they can read and take home with. I always tell my guests to take 24 to 48 hours and not wash their eyes. Getting water on their eyes or just accidentally like washing, these things, even though it's just water, they can affect the way that the glue bonds, which is why you have to make sure you are constantly repeating this. The more that you repeat these steps, the more they are not going to do it. They're gonna remember. There's just a couple more steps that you wanna make sure that you let them know about. For example, you wanna make sure that you are not rubbing your eyes. The glue hasn't completely bonded, and it does take 24 to 48 hours for the glue to completely build a strong bond. It's not good for you to rub your eyes. This will cause for the extensions to fall off and your natural lashes. Keep away from excessive amounts of heat. The blow dryer, the oven, if you're cooking something and you just open, that is excessive amounts of heat. A lot of my girls, they love to ride on the motorcycle because, you know, we're from Wisconsin, bikers all the way. They love it, but it also causes for the lashes to become flat. Sometimes they lose their curls. So one of the first things that we have on that sheet is don't get your eyes wet 24 to 48 hours. Number 2, make sure that you are treating the lashes very delicately. You know that as a tech, when you're brushing to make sure that there's nothing coming out. You're just making sure that there's nothing stuck. When the guest is brushing their lashes, they don't want to be rough with their lashes. This has a bigger chance of the lashes falling, especially within the first 2 days. After 48 hours, they are totally safe to wear makeup. I say 48 hours because you don't want to expose your lashes to water very quickly. Make sure that that makeup is water-based. You don't want to spend time rubbing around your eyes, and if it's not coming off, it's just not good. The guest is totally fine wearing makeup. Just make sure it's water-based. That way it's easier for the makeup to come off. Oil is not going to completely remove the lashes. It will have an effect on how long the lashes last. One thing that is a huge no-no, and I get these questions every single day. Can I wear mascara? No, 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 no. You cannot wear mascara. This is going to ruin the extensions. It's going to make the extensions flat. It's going to be almost impossible to remove all of the mascara without pulling a couple of your natural lashes and some extensions. When that guest comes in for a fill, you are gonna have the worst time having to clean the lashes and their extensions to be able to do that fill. Sometimes the guest is still gonna wear that mascara, and you have to do your best to make sure that you are removing most of the mascara off. And I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be difficult, but you can do it. Communicate with your guest nicely. So if they have mascara, you can let them know, hey, I noticed that you have a little bit of mascara. Please try not to use mascara because that is going to make your lashes not last as long. Another thing that mascara does is it will make the lashes kind of stick together, and this will cause irritation for the guest. Number 4, make sure that the guest is cleaning their lashes properly. It is a myth that you should never touch your eyelash extensions. If you're doing it the correct way, it is totally fine. You can use water-based makeup cleaner. You can use water and soap. You can even use baby shampoo because it's gentle, oil-free makeup remover. You are totally fine to wash the eyes and the extensions. Just make sure to be very careful. Once you are completely done washing the eye area, you can just get a towel and kind of just dab on your eyes. Number 5, you want to make sure that you let your guests know when it is time for their fill. We do fills every 2 to 3 weeks. Anything after 3 weeks, they are not able to get a fill unless there was like an emergency or something like that, and we love to be lenient, but just, you know, till a certain point. You want to make sure that you are communicating that with your guests, because if you don't communicate that with your guests, then they're gonna be like, oh, well, you never told me, and they're gonna want to come for a fill like 4 or 5 weeks later and they have barely any lashes. If they book at 3 weeks or before and they barely have any lashes, then that might have been a mistake that you made on your end. You didn't fill all of the lashes, or your glue wasn't properly working. That's why it is okay for you to let them know 3 weeks. Anything after 3 weeks, it's a full set. You want to make sure that if you are a beginner and if you are just starting, give yourself enough time. If your fill usually takes 2 hours, give yourself 2.5 hours, because as a beginner, you are going to be presented with situations that you just never thought you were gonna have to deal with. And trust me, I've had moments where somebody comes in for a fill and they have 1 lash. It is a responsibility that I had to take, because, you know, you're just a beginner. I was just a beginner, and I had that situation, and I made sure that I completely took care of that. It is also up to your guests to make sure that they are communicating with you. If you don't have barely any lashes by the 2nd week, please let me know so that we can fix this right away. Remember, it is your responsibility, and if you are a beginner, you should be completely responsible for that. Even if it's not 100% your fault, you want to make sure that you are building that connection with your guest and kind of building that name for yourself, because you don't want to be like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing your lashes because you don't have any extensions on. That would have been a little, you know, mean from my side to say that, when it also could have been my fault. Once you are advanced, I don't have that issue at all. I've probably gone about 6 months with having a fill, and sometimes if you do have a fill, once you are advanced, it might be that the guest had, you know, just a cycle where they just had a lot of lashes falling off. You want to make sure that your guest knows that lashes are prone to fall. It is completely normal for you to lose 3 to 5 lashes a day. Now, you don't notice it on a daily basis. Why? Because if you're not wearing extensions, if you rub your eyes, 1 or 2 will fall off and they'll just fly off and you don't even know. But with extensions, since they are thicker and heavier, sometimes you do notice them more often. And especially if you're brushing and they fall off, you're like, oh my god, my lashes are falling off. But it is completely normal. Now, if you have more than 5 extensions falling off and they're just falling off without your natural lash, there might be an issue, and that is something that you would probably have to look into and figure out what is wrong with your guest lashes. If their lashes are falling off with the extension, it has nothing to do with something that you did wrong. It is only when they are just falling off and they are not coming off with the natural lashes. Number 8, if you swim in a pool that has chlorine, anything like that, any chemicals, you want to make sure that you are wearing goggles. I mean, if you have eyelash extensions, that is. I know that most of us are too cute and we don't want to look ugly with goggles. You gotta wear the goggles. If you don't sacrifice looking a little squishy-eyed, you are going to have to deal with your lashes falling off. Chlorine, not a friend of eyelash extensions. Chlorine, bad for lash extensions. Chlorine, yeah. Try to avoid any sprays like hair products. It's not good for the lashes. You know, if you're like putting hairspray, just kind of go like this so they're not getting on your lash extensions. This is one of the most difficult things to do. This next requirement, not sleeping on your face. I have an issue. I sleep like literally like this. And that's not good. No bueno for your lashes. They will all come off. I sleep like on this side, so most of the time I have like so many lashes on this side and like this side is bald. Oh no! For the sake of your eyelash extensions, do not sleep on your face even if it takes you 5 hours to fall asleep. There's a lot of things that I probably didn't mention that can cause lashes to fall. Like if you are on your period, more gradually they will fall off. Smoking, that is really bad, and it's not everybody. Some people can smoke and their lashes stay very well put on, but then other people smoke and it's like all of their lashes are falling off by the time they come in for a fill. They barely have any extensions on. Drinking alcohol can make your lashes fall off. We all have a different immune system, we all have a different body, and our body works differently. So you want to make sure that the guest knows what makes their lashes last longer and what makes them fall off. But you just want to kind of figure out what they did. And then after you kind of have some things that you think might have happened, then you can kind of tell them, hey, so can you try doing this, or can you try not doing this, so that we know what is going on with your lashes and why they are falling off. Medicine can cause for the eyelash extensions to fall off, and not so much the extensions, but your natural lashes would fall off. Other things you have to watch out is getting into the sauna, tanning beds, using eye drops. If somebody is naturally oily, their extensions might not last as long. I know that I'm doing a good job when I have my guests come in and they still have a 60% of their lashes. And you know the percentage based off the time that you are taking to kind of find another lash that you need to fill. I've had tons of people come in with so many lashes, it only takes me not 45-30 minutes to fill their lashes. That is why when I have like one person come in and they don't have any lashes, I'm like, something must have gone wrong on your end. And I'm not gonna tell them that, but we need to figure it out. We kind of need to talk about it and say, hey, so this might have been something that happened. You know, it's completely okay. We'll figure it out. I will fix you up, and just make sure that next time we kind of figure out what it is that is going wrong. If the next time they're all falling off, it just might mean that, you know, you personally, maybe we need to change the curl, maybe we need to change the thickness, and you know, kind of figure things out like that, because you don't want your guests to feel like, oh my god, I'm paying for this service and it's just not working for me, or the lashes are not even lasting. I cannot say this enough, I cannot stress it enough. You need to let them know that taking care of their extensions is very important. Otherwise, they will not last. And it is also our job as technicians to make sure that we are directing them into the right place. So this is why we did this super long video of how to take care of the lashes. I know it's been a lot of talking, but it is very important. These are one of the most common things that can happen when taking care of the lashes or when not taking care of them. If you guys have any other suggestions or any comments or anything that has happened to you in the past, make sure to share it with us. We would love to hear about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We love doing this and we cannot wait for this course to be over so that you guys can be certified FabuPRO techs. See you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so that you guys are notified whenever we post another video.